So we're here with Kara Winger. Kara, you just made it past another qualifying for the Olympic trials. How can you describe just the last few weeks, this whole outdoor season? You've been traveling across the United States, going to all the meets, getting social media for all the throwers, trying to support the pros community, supporting all your fellow teammates. And now you decide to come back in New York. You decide to make a huge comeback to the sport after 2 years off, and now you're at the trials. What's the journey to how we're here right now?
It's been really personal, the training. Once everyone found out that I was going to compete again, that's when it got hard, like to keep in mind why I started training again. So resisting the pressure, resisting the outside influence, the like really big, oh my gosh, 5th Olympic team possibly. It's really about like distance, my own technical understanding, like mastery of the event, throwing far using different training than I used for 20 years or from like 2017 on with Jamie Myers of the USOPC. So it's just fun. Like I just wanted to try again. And I think being around other people, telling other people's stories, I love doing that. I'm totally fine if that's all of my future in the sport. But I also wanted to be a part of it one more time if I could. And that curiosity is what's driving me. Like one way or another, can I throw the standard? Can I make the 5th Olympic team? Like maybe, probably. But if I don't, that's also okay. And either way, I get to find out. So it's just, I'm curious.
So your 2 competitions in a row over 63 meters. Now you're basically back to form, essentially. It's like you've never left. How does that feel knowing that you're still able to hit those high-level marks that are still competitive in the world?
It feels really good to be where I am, 38 years old, 63.22 so far on the season. In 2022, my first 3 meets of the year were over 63 meters. So yes, it feels like exactly the same. And my true indicator of like I know I have 64 in me is I threw 62.65 in round 1 in New York. And then I got more nervous. And then I threw 63.22. So to improve with the nerves, to hold my technique strong, like I was better technically in New York than I was here today. There's just so much more emotion here. And yeah, it's just fun. It's just really fun to know that I knew what I was talking about in 2022. Like that's the experiment. I finally had somebody in Russ, my husband, my coach, who I could fully express like my technical thoughts to and be heard, communicate about them, discuss them, like argue and come to a conclusion, like even if it wasn't the same conclusion, but then revisit it later. Like it was just so fun to have a sounding board every single day in 2022 and then prove to myself now that that was true. Like I finally had this technical breakthrough and something that really, really worked for me. And to redo that just because I can is what this whole thing is about. So I love it.
So can you take us through kind of qualifying from today? Like, you said you were not as technically on par, but you had a lot of emotion. When that 63 came up in your second round, how did that feel?
I knew it wasn't far enough. I knew it wasn't 64, so the crowd was wonderful. But I knew that it wasn't quite there. I definitely can feel that little bit of like protection of my body or holding back. I think all throwers know like that the hesitation on the first round, like holding something back, trying to be smooth, but that turns into being slow rather than sharp. And that's what I did in round 1. So I'm like frustrated with myself that I wasted one opportunity. I definitely took full advantage of 2 and 3, but I need to find that little bit of upper body relaxation that's missing. So that's my true takeaway. I was decently aggressive with the legs in rounds 2 and 3, but still tense, still some sort of stress coming through in the technique. Valerie on your interview was talking about round 6, like it's really easy to tighten up when you know everybody's watching. That's what it was, but I've had that before and I've used it really well. So I think now with 2 competitions under my belt in 2024, hopefully Sunday is the key to relaxation and great technique.
So what's the game plan over the next few days?
I get to do a kids clinic with Tracktown USA tomorrow on Hayward Field. So teach some kids how to throw turbo jabs. So that'll be really fun. I think that's a really fun way to just get out of my own head, like have somebody else's first experience with the event that I love. And then there's a thrower party. Come find me. after the women's shot and men's disc finals tomorrow, and then get as much sleep as possible. Russ is coming tomorrow. I'm super excited. I know that he'll help me feel better and like myself in the final on Sunday. And if this is my last meet ever, I still get to share that with him. And it's 20 years after my first Olympic trials, which is super cool. So yeah, trying to get out of my own head. I got to go cool down my 38-year-old body, do some rehab, put myself back together a little bit, and then trust that it's there.
Okay, well, I don't want to take any more of your time, Kara. I'm sure you'll do great. This is an amazing experience for myself to watch you throw, watch you compete, and I think you're going to crush it on Sunday. It's going to
Thank
be
you.
amazing to watch.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you.